Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Esports Masters League Challenge Cup here for round number 3 as we take in the fantastic Red Bull Wing. We are here in Austria, is Spielberg. My name is, of course, Michael Edwards, going to be taking you through the action, of course, and joining alongside me. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, but it's okay. He is here. He is here. It's the one that's only, it's a legend. It is Mr. James. James, how you doing?
I'm doing really, really well. Yeah, I am a little bit under the weather at this moment in time, but hopefully it might make up for it, of course, here in Austria. We've got 25 laps worth of racing, one shot qualifying about to begin as well. It's going to be an interesting night because we've got both races, of course, happening here tonight. Let's have a look, though, Mike, at the championship standings coming into tonight. I hope I did provide you with this graphic, by the way. I
Yep.
don't think I have, but FRT lead the way on 72, CPI in second on 64, Team TF10 in third on 48, then Esports Peck in fourth on 43, Avisio in fifth on 40, AMS in sixth on 37, TTM in seventh on 29. They're not partaking in the rest of the season. VMV they're in eighth on 28, BRT in ninth on 26, and EVR in 10th on 25 points. It is very close between FRT and CPI right now, and honestly, I'm not surprised that they're up there.
No, absolutely not. I mean, CPI have been doing fantastic this season, as has FRT. TF10 are on the rise, though, James. I mean, they have been clawing back a decent chunk of points now in the past 2 races. So you never know if this week goes well for them. They can maybe get themselves into that battle with FRT and CPI.
Yeah, given how I think close everything is going to go, we've got 7 seconds, by the way, until we do go racing here in Austria. We're now on 2, we're on 1, and we're about to go for one shot qualifying. Park Ferme is off, I believe, so I will double check that in the settings. But we are on board with Enzos down in towards turn 1, or Enzo down in towards turn 1 on board with FRC's man. Coming to the right hand of turn 1, beautiful looking mountain range, of course, here, the Styrian mountain range up in the high hills here in Austria. Gatkowski, Isval, Matthias through the first sector. Ends up not looking too bad though through the first sector, Mike.
Nah, not too bad at all. Did go a little bit deep into turn 3 though, so not ideal for him, but he's got the car rotated on the run down now in towards turn number 4. The downhill braking zone, very easy to lock up the tyres into that particular corner, James, and you saw it there with Enzo. I mean, he does lock up just a little bit, but he gets the car rotating lovely.
Yeah, I've just checked. Park Ferme is on in the lobby. I've just checked that. 44.6 in the middle sector from Enzo. Looking good. Coming through now, the left-hand return number 7 and 8. Through now into the right and the right. I can't even speak. The double right even at turn 9. Then through the double right again at turn number 10. Isval, Matthias, Gatkowski currently out on top. Nam retiring from the session. Must have picked up invalidation from somewhere. Ismal to line for EVE. Goes quicker than Gatkowski. 200 per second separate them. So the German out on top from the pole.
Yep, Ismo, fantastic lap time from him. I believe it was 3.6 and a half from Ismo, and we'll quickly run you through the order. It is Ismo on pole position ahead of Gatkowski, who will join him on the front row. Matzuz in third, with Race Roller in fourth. Ivan in fifth, with Michele in sixth. Simba Rocks in seventh, with Kevin's in eighth. Iwa in ninth, with Enzo around the top 10. Outside the top 10, we got S29M, we got Chowski, we got Kieran Nag, we got Nam, Danny Gamer, and Turtle Master going to be rounding out the rest of the grid. Apologies if I've absolutely butchered some names, but it's usually the way it goes when I start pronouncing names.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, look at the top 8 though, covered by what, 2.25 tenths of a second. Kieran there has left the session. He's saying that I've closed my game anyway, so not sure what's going on there potentially with Kieran for FGE, but he is definitely going to be looking to try and get some points on the board maybe later on in this race. But once your qualifying done, Park Fame obviously on, drivers now preparing the course up for the race, means we've got 15 cars now on the grid as opposed to 16. Should be, though, quite close in terms of the racing. Austria is always good for a Grand Prix around here. We saw it in EML last season. Are we going to see more of the same again, Mark?
Potentially. I mean, in terms of racing, it's usually all about timing your overtakes well, sticking in that DRS train. If you drop out the DRS train, you're going to be absolutely nowhere in this race. And James, I'm looking at the cloud up above. That cloud looks very ominous. It looks like it's got a bit of rain in there. So potentially, could we be seeing some changeable conditions?
I think you might be reading a little bit too much into that, to be honest, because it looks beautiful, blue sky and sunshine. We are going to go for 500 lights here, though, in one shot qualifying, in race 1 even, here for round 3, and it is light down where we go, and Ismail does get a very good start. Gatkowski gets a good start as well, and actually might get the run on him down in towards turn 1. Ismail, though, will lead the way for EVE down in towards turn number 1. Gatkowski there in second for CPR, Matthias there in third for TGF, who are going to be closing, of course, in the not too distant future. Breaks forward and fourth for Kelly there in fifth. Simbarox in sixth early on as they come now cascading up the hill in towards turn 3 at Remus for the first time. Already I spy, I thought there was a bit of front wing damage on the Williams as Simbarox. Actually, no front wing damage, just by eyesight, I think, kicking in there. Gatkowski on the back of Ismail, running down towards turn number 4. Schlossgold holds the lead, Ismail for now. Gatkowski, though, rear ends him into the apex of turn 4.
Yeah, Gatkowski giving him a little tap at the rear, saying, come on, let's get a move on. And Ismail's starting to respond now. 2.5 tenths the gap as we come through the middle sector on the opening lap. Ismail leading the way, Gatkowski in second. Manzuz in third as he is trying to get into the back. He's got a Race Roller in behind him and Michele in behind him. As there's a bit of a gap forming between Simba and Michele. So maybe you might have spotted a little bit of wing damage. Potentially, it could be some light green wing damage. Who knows?
Might be like green wing damage. It might just be my eyesight going potentially for Simbarox there down in 6th position. Gatkowski on the back though of Ismail, running up the hill now once again in towards turn number 3. We'll see, of course, how he does get on, add on track, maybe looking for the move even in towards Remus at turn number 3. Looks towards the inside line, half-hearted attempt. Ismail, I think, gets him far out wide as possible to try and get one off the corner. Great one off the corner, though, for Gatkowski. Surely going to be his move down in towards turn number 4. It is indeed. Gatkowski will lead. Ismail there in second. There's a crash further down the field, though, and that is the XPG man of S29, who's in the wall, coming down the straight in towards turn number 4. Very similar instance to what happened in EML, actually, around here. VSC deployed out on track. Not the best start for the XPG man.
No, absolutely not. And heartbreak for him to go out so early in this race. I mean, 25 laps. You don't really want to be going out this early in the race. And one thing that we didn't mention, James, is obviously the tyre strategy. Everyone's starting on a set of mediums. So everyone going the exact same. There's no variation in terms of the strategy. So it's going to be all down to pure pace.
It is going to be down to all pure pace, and it is going to be down to who wants it most, I think, out of the front 3, that's for sure. And Gatkowski obviously holding the lead. There is, though, pit stops happening. Enzot is into the pit lane. Even S-Craig Peck is into the pit lane as well. Both on a set of medium compound tyres, so both continue on. DRS now enabled. BSC still showing on my end, but it is DRS enabled. We're back to green flag racing. Bit of a spectator glitch going on my end. Gatkowski, though, on the back. Ismail on the back of Gatkowski in towards turn number 3. Doesn't get the move done. Ends up there, has actually left the session. Hopefully we can get him back in very soon. But Matthias aiming on the back of Ismail. Don't think anything's going to happen in the front pack.
No, and confirmation for Ivan and Enzo into the pits, changing their front wing as well.
Simbarox very late on the brakes for the VMV man of Inwa, and Inwa there now, dropping down. Look at Kevin's in behind as well, the former TF10 man, now part of EVR, looks the inside line for the RB, gets the job done. Really nice move that by Kevin. Clooney's into 7th.
Yeah, fantastic there from Kevin's, taking advantage of Iwa there, getting a little bit out of shape with Simbarox, but Kevin's up into P7, making the moves count. And yeah, front wing change for Ivan and Enzo. They're going to be on the hards for the rest of this race, and honestly, it's going to be a long race for both of those two at the back now, because they're not going to be in the DRS train. They will have DRS in each other, but late into this race, they are just not going to have the tyres to compete with these guys that are still going right now.
Yeah, they won't, and obviously on that sort of hard compound tyres, normally when it comes to a race like this in Austria, we normally see drivers pinning in early within the first 12 or 13 laps of the race from a set of mediums going onto a set of hards because they're the more durable tyre. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if we get 10 laps into this race and we see drivers even before that onto a set of hard compound tyres. So it's going to be a very unique set of circumstances. Obviously, it is a 35% race as opposed to 50% race, but the same principles still apply in terms of the hards, in terms of the mediums. Normally, in terms of tyre life, they're just a little bit sooner rather than later in terms of the strategy. So I think Enzot has managed to rejoin the session. Gatkowski, though, leading the way. Ismail in second. Matthias there in third. Very wide, though, from Gatkowski. Going through turn number 9, got caught in the inside curve. Just lost some time, but he gets him a really good exit coming across the start finish on the start lap 5.
Yeah, as Manzuze takes the fastest lap of the race so far, 105.9. James, we are seeing a bit of a split. Danny Gamer 1.8 off the back of Nam. So as Enzo's coming to the pits, actually, has he retired out on track? Yeah, I think he has.
Yeah, he has. And that'll be, of course, because of the glitches, the visual glitches that we normally see when drivers do rejoin a session. Did give him the invite, though, and he has obviously retired. It is the game to blame more than us. Matthias there on the outside line now, looking on the back of Gatkowski. Gatkowski there stays second. Matthias there in third. Race Roller there in fourth. Rolling along, I've got to say, the Scotsman currently there for the team of, I think is he FGE? Race Roller, I forget. Kieran, I think I referenced a little bit earlier on, has been an FGE. I think he was formerly FGE, now AMS. Race Roller is a part, I can say, of FGE. He's on the back of Matthias, TGF, and FGE had very good battles around this track in Console Tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, Race Roller, FGE, he is on the back of Matt Zooks by here, and he is going to try to just pick his opportunities, because the one thing in this kind of race, James, is obviously you're going to see Gatkowski and Ismail trade positions. You're going to see Matt Zeus try to get involved every now and then as Gatkowski down the inside of Ismail in towards turn 3, side by side on the exit, wheel to wheel they go. And nice. It's Gatkowski that does have the DRS, and here comes Matt Zeus.
Here's Matthias. Yeah, Matthias on the back there of Ismail, now looking to the inside line in towards turn number 4. Half-hearted lunge. It's almost as if he doesn't want to go for the move, but he is half a car length ahead. He's now full car length ahead, and the pole is spinning into second. TGF, has to say, 2 weeks we've got them still within, including tonight here in Austria. Definitely going to be looking for a good result to try and round off their season, of course, in the EML Challenge Cup. Team obviously close, and they're going to be real miss. Really did well in EML Console Tier 2 this season, so they will be a real miss. But Matthias currently looking to keep up with Gatkowski. Gatkowski was strong around here in EML Austria, so he's definitely looking to try and just drop off the back of the pole. But at this moment in time, the pole's looking stronger.
Yep, looking much stronger at the moment, and nice little exit out of turn 1 there for Race Roller. Could get him onto the back of Ismail coming up into turn 3. I think Kevin's, as at a moment, he's dropping down the order. As Mazu gets through on Gatkowski as you go Race Roller trying down the inside of Ismail. 2x2 like Noah's Ark, James, through turn number 3.
2x2 like Noah's Ark, and there's still 2x2 for the race lead. Gatkowski, Matthias drops in behind. Here comes Race Roller to the inside line as well. Could it be a Rick roll to the inside line instead of a race roll? Race roll trying to get the move done on the inside line. Job done. He is spooning into second. Matthias there in third. Ismail there in fourth. Good level of racing going on so far in Austria. We dreamt up this calendar. I personally thought Austria was a bad choice, but Austria at this moment in time now threatening to be a good race. However, Gatkowski is beginning to pull away out in front, and you do not want a driver like Gatkowski to drop off the front even of this pack by about 0.7 of a second. That's what the gap currently is. Race Roller just needs to use up a bit of ERS just to try and close in on him, but closing speeds around this track is something.
Yeah, absolutely, and with 3 DRS zones, it is quite easy to close back up if you do have the DRS to try and close back up. One thing I was looking at just on that previous lap, James, Ismail getting very flirtatious with the curbs, and he's actually gone for a move down the inside of Race Roller. That was a late call there from Ismail to have a little peek down the inside, and I think that's compromised him, and he's going to end up losing that spot back to Matzuz. But side by side they come down in towards turn number 4. He's got the inside line, does Ismail. Outbreaks, just a little tap, and it was Michele down the inside of Matzuz.
Yeah, McKelly now. Matthew is actually on the inside line trying to fight the car. Now coming through the left-hander of turn number 6, and he gets the job done. He's back through and he's into 4th. McKelly there in 5th. Simberbox there in 6th. Simberbox is just enjoying things right now. Just like, you guys fight. I'll try and pick up positions here for FRT. Matthew is looking to the inside line, and it's one towards turn number 9. Now toward the Vodville Mobile Curve. I think Danny Gamer is off, coming through briefly in the middle sector. Went on the gravel. I think he's got back going again. However, lost position though. The Turtle Master right down in 10th position. Gatkowski though leading the way. Lap 9 out of 25. Pretty much a third distance now around in this race here in Austria. Race Roller second. Ismail there in third. I don't think that order is going to stay there for long. However, I say that now. Nothing's really going to happen. Maybe Ball McKelly to the outside line of Matthias. Not quite getting the move though.
But hopefully he might have a good enough run that he can get into the slipstream, draw alongside and have a look down the inside. That's exactly what he's done there. McKelly down the inside. out brings Mazus. You can see him try to go for the switchback, but just gets a little bit too much on that inside curve, and that compromises his traction on the exit.
It does indeed. Matthias on the back of McCulley now back down to P5. McCulley there in P4. Simberbox, as I say, probably in the best seat in the house right now. Hasn't used a lot of battery, hasn't used any ERS on that car, so he's definitely looking to try and get the moves done on the likes of Matthias, on the likes of McCulley further up the field. Whether or not we just see pit stops begin to be made is a different thing. Gatkowski is into the pit lane. I am not convinced he took the pit lane entry properly there, I've got to be honest. Now coming through down in towards turn 1, Gatkowski blinks first. That is a strange call, I've got to be honest, from the CPR man. So the whole compound tyres will go on, clearly prioritising track position over everything else.
Yeah, and the undercut is usually pretty good around here as well, James. Obviously, it's going to take him a bit just to warm up those tyres, but if he gets the opportunity of getting them nice and toasty by the end of this lap, and I should be able to get a decent undercut going on Race Roller and Ismail.
Yeah, he should do, but he's going to be really under the cosh towards the end of the race, and that means he's going to be completely under pressure from the likes of those guys in behind. Race Roller, Ismail, McCulley, Matthias all decide to come in the pit lane this lap. That means Gatkowski's advantage is somewhat negated, and I would expect drivers to be pitting in this lap. And there is Race Roller in, Ismail in, McCulley looks like he's coming in as well, as is Matthias, as is Simberox, as is Inwa. So he gets the advantage for one lap, Gatkowski, but he has got fighting of his own to real look in as well. He's just got Danny Gamer into the left-hander of turn number 8 there, or the right-hander even at turn number 8. It's going to be tight though on pit entry. These holds are not the best to get up around this track. There are drivers on a set of holds coming out of the pit lane. Gatkowski will lead, but it's just how far he will lead by. It's going to be more than a second coming out the pit lane though.
And honestly, I think that's what Gatkowski wanted, just try and break that gap. It's 2.5 seconds actually, James. Wow. So a fantastic undercut there from Gatkowski. He was purple in the middle sector as well, so definitely got those tyres switched on nice and quickly.
That's a big, big undercut that he has gained. 2.7 seconds from what was a gap of around, 5/10 of a second? There was a yellow flag. Danny Gamer's crashed even before the entrance of turn number 1. So Danny Gamer, in fact, he's actually crashed coming out of the pit lane. That's even worse for Danny Gamer. The Spaniard there down in 13th. He's unlucky for some for now. Gatkowski will lead the way. Race Roller there in 2nd. Ismail there in 3rd. What I think Race Roller needs to do at this point, Gatkowski is a lot quicker than the McLaren behind. So I think forfeit the positions. Maybe Ismail, maybe McCulley, maybe Matthias in behind. Just drop in behind the likes of them, and then try and get them to do the bit of the donkey work. At this moment in time, Gatkowski's 2.4 seconds clear. There's no sign of him stopping right now.
It's coming down now to 2.2. I think Race Roller and Ismail, if they want any hopes of taking a victory here, they're going to have to work together, use the DRS to kind of call themselves back up to Gatkowski.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. Ismail's actually catching on the back of Race Roller, running up the hill in towards turn number 3 at Remus. Don't think he's going to get the move done, but honestly, they need to start working together, I think, because Gatkowski, 2.4 seconds clear. You do not want to be beyond the second gap around here in Austria. As Kevin's there, I think, has came into the pit lane, sped in the pit lane, and retired the car. So that is unfortunate for him. He's out of the race. We are now pretty much halfway through in the race. Gatkowski leads the way, Race Roller 2nd, Ismail there in 3rd. Harvey, by the way, is going to be hosting Lobby 2, so if you are in Lobby 2, please get ready, because you're about to be invited very soon indeed by Mr. Harvey himself, who is going to be doing the lobby duties for Lobby 2, as McCulley runs wide. Not as wide as Ismail, though, and McCulley picks up the 3-second penalty. Yeah,
McCulley picking up a 3-second time penalty. That definitely would have been a warning for Ismail as well, getting up onto the curbs. We have been asked if we can show warnings, and ideally we do not show warnings during the race.
I can tell. McCulley's got 3 seconds worth of penalties. Even Eskrig on 6 seconds. Danny Gamer on 3. That's all you're getting.
Well, there we go. 3 seconds for McCulley, who is currently now in 4th place on the back of Race Roller, who's just let go of that position to Ismail. Ismail getting through nice and easy. Yep,
Matthias on the outside on McCulley, looking for the move, trying to go all the way around the outside of turn number 4. Hard at the best of times, but he has managed to pull this move off once already in this race, and pulls it off again towards turn number 4. Turn number 6 of Pirelli. Really nice move there by Matthias. Really good driver, I've got to say, in this race. Throoney's into fourth, McKenna there in fifth, 3-second penalty now behind you. That is now game-changing potentially for TGF in the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. As Matsu say, again, right underneath the rear wing of Race Roller for that final spot on the podium. But not quite close enough to make a move, but maybe up the hill in towards turn number 3, James.
Yeah, potentially so. I was going to ask you the question, actually. Has Gatkowski now won this race? I know it's lap 14 out of 25. 2.6 seconds. Gap not coming down. Gatkowski in a world of his own out in front. Nothing really happening in behind. No working together or anything like the sort. Has Gatkowski just gone away and stolen this race? However, I will also answer that question with another question towards you, so you're getting two at you now. Is it looking like it's going to rain over in the mountains there? Because I saw a lot of cloud cover there beginning to build.
I did bring that up at the start of the session. The clouds look very ominous. We'll have to wait and see if it is going to rain. It could just be overcast for the remainder of the race. And to answer your question with Gatkowski, I think unless he picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, then Gatkowski looks like he's got pretty much the race win in his clutches.
Yeah, I think 2.3 seconds. Gap is coming down. It's just within the DRS zones that this is coming down. Around the rest of the track, Gatkowski is quick. And the pole, you do not want to let him 2.3 seconds up the road because he is just skating away with it right now. As I say, there's nothing really going on in behind. There's no real organisation of a chase at this moment in time. So I'm going to liken it to the Tour de France. It's like the man out in front against the rest of the peloton. The peloton at the minute are trying to catch, but they haven't got themselves organised, and it's a bit of a mess in behind. That is where I will take the reference from. Gatkowski at the minute, out in front, still with 10 laps to go. I'm going to call it now. I think he pretty much looked certain for this race win.
Yeah, I think as I said, the only thing that could really stop him is if he picks up a 3-second time penalty, or if he clips one of these curves wrong and just loses half a second, because that can very easily just knock you out the rhythm. And Gatkowski, as good as driver he is, if you get knocked out the rhythm, it is going to take a couple of corners to get back into it, as every driver has experienced that throughout their racing careers 100%. But Gatkowski, the gap 2.1, so it is still coming down, James.
It is still coming down, but Race Roller's not moving on the back of Ismail for P2 out on track, and that's currently the best seat you want to be in the house to try and organise some form of pursuit. At this moment in time, Ismail's a very good driver. I don't think he's a good driver to close 2.1 seconds, though, on Gatkowski at this stage. However good he may be, the track will come to him, the tyres will come to him. I just think, though, he's escaped up the road, Gatkowski, and he's not going to really look back. It's 2.1 seconds the gap. As I said, there's no real organisation at this moment in time for a test really out on track. Race Roller there in third. As I say, 95% of ERS he's on. Ismail at the minute on 38. There's Race Rollers. I don't get what he's doing. If he's serious about this race win and serious about getting the race opportunity, he'll be already past Ismail down towards turn number 1 and getting this move done. But in the end, no fight, no conviction, and Gatkowski's just been allowed to get away.
Well, I mean, looks like Race Roller might actually go for this move now up the hill.
He does.
Yep. Up the hill as Ivan has retired.
Yes,
that's a virtual safety car deployed here. Lap 17 of 25. What I was going to say, James, before this VSC got deployed, Race Roller, with that ERS that he managed to save up now, could really start to dump a bit of ERS to try and close up the Gatkowski. But with now the VSC out, it's kind of going to neutralise it now because Gatkowski can save up his battery.
Ismail can save up his battery as well because he was on, 38%? Race Roller was on near enough 100, and Ismail's now on 100, so they're both pretty much right exactly now as it is. And it's perfect if you get Gatkowski because he knows how to control the VSC restart. He's got a different delta time, it seems, towards everyone else in behind. And I think the delta time is actually slower in behind than it is for Gatkowski in front. And that means, look at the gap, 2.9 seconds, 3 seconds. Once we get back underway, I would not be surprised if Gatkowski's stolen a few more tenths of a second here on the back of Race Roller and Ismail, just with how the delta times are going. That's from wing damage action for Ismail. Left side end plate, I think, has gone off the car. rear wing damage. I don't think it's rear wing damage on the car. It's actually Matthias, right side end plate damage on the car. Sorry, Mike.
Oh,
right side end plate damage on the car.
contact.
Into the back of Ismail. Gets a bit of contact there. Now McKelly is going to try and find his way through. Up the hill now and towards turn number 3. All of a sudden now there's a very, very aggressive chase going on. McKelly looks to the inside line. Ismail's all locked up. Oh my word. Nearly get caught on each other. Have got caught on each other. Matthias Booney's into third. Inwell there in fourth, having a very good race of VMV. And then you've got Simbarox, who's also got damage. Right side end plate to the inside line of turn number 4, gets the job done.
Yeah, looking off the rear wing of Inwell there at that move from Simbarox. And yeah, that's not what you want to see with McKelly and Ismail just getting tangled up on each other. And I think Ismail does have a bit of wing damage. He looked quite understeery there coming through the middle sector. Visually, it doesn't look like it though.
Visually, it doesn't look like it, but Matthias is coming in the pit lane. Obviously, he's got very hard damage. Oh my god, nearly into the back there. Inwell, Simbarox, nearly into the back of the Matthias. I think might be coming in the pit lane and actually retiring the car, to be honest. I would not be surprised if he does, unless he goes for the fastest lap point. Obviously, too hard of a damage to try and continue on. He would have only dropped like a stone through the field. Might be picking up a P9, potentially. But with that front wing change, he can battle Tailmaster and he can try and get the best out of a bad situation. Is what is going to happen in this race. As McKelly looks on the back of Simbarox. Simbarox on the back of Inwell. Inwell there on the outside line. Got to be in it to win it. Running down the hill and towards turn number 4. It is 2x2 with McKelly and Ismail side by side as well. This is the view I'm taking. Down in towards turn number 4. 3 wide in towards turn number 4. Never going to work. Ismail inside line gets the job done. McKelly around the inside. Inwell was a meat in the sandwich there.
Yeah, Inwell there was exactly where he did not want to be, in the middle of a sandwich coming through turn number 4. A little bit of bumper cars there through turn 4, but everyone managing to get through safe and sound, which is fantastic to see. McKelly on the back of Ismail here for P4 in this race, and McKelly obviously with that 3-second time penalty is going to drop behind Inwell. But would you be getting your elbows out if you're McKelly right now? Because if you can force someone else into a mistake where they pick up a 3-second time penalty, then you have the chance of getting an extra position, as Ismail is going to look for the move on Simbarox here.
Yeah, definitely so. Ismail on the back of Simbarox. Simbarox obviously with that stricken car. Right side pit damage obviously on the car. They're in P4. McKelly there in P5. It's got ominously dark now out on track. It might start to rain before the end of this race. Don't think it'll impact on the track surface. Famous last words, because Monaco was like that and we had an absolute thriller of a final 3 laps with Rens, Thomas and Matteo fighting out on Monday night. Hopefully this might provide the same. What this has done though, all of that contact, all of that carnage, Gatkowski's now 3.7 seconds up the road. Listen to me when I say Gatkowski is too good to win this race, and at this moment in time, definitely proving that. McLaren currently are going for 1-2. FGE are looking quite good right now for big points all, as are CPI, and currently actually, Mike, CPI overtake FRT in the standings, so CPI will actually lead the championship going into the next race.
Yeah, and that is big for CPI, and they definitely want to be taking away this championship and ending 2024 on the high note of a championship win.
Inside line, McKelly, Simbarox, side by side through turn number 3. Oh, that was a force off track if I've ever seen one. McKelly just forced him completely to the outside line. There might have been a little bit of scrimmage before that, a little bit of contact there. Inwell's Booney's into 5th. Simbarox all the way down in 6th position. McKelly and Team TF10 were having absolutely none of that. He's just been probably told to do that by his engineer.
Maybe. I mean, as I said earlier, would you be getting your elbows out if you are McKelly to try and force someone into a 3-second time penalty? He definitely got his elbows out a little bit there.
He did get his elbows out to there. Oh, Ismail really fighting that car off the curb on the right-hand side now, coming to the right-hand now, turn number 9, now through turn number 10. Inwell right on the back of these guys. Simbarox just beginning to drop off the pace slightly. Currently, McLaren 1-2 it is. It's CPI from FGE, then EVE, then Team TF10, then BMV, and then FRT. Scrap that, because BMV are going for the move, maybe for P3 here, because Ismail is very slow. Inwell goes for a double move. McKelly for a double move around the outside as well. Might just get it late on the brakes. He knows where the braking points are here, McKelly, and he gets the job done. And Inwell, out of all of that, has lost maybe 2, even maybe 3 positions here because Simbarox is right on the back of him, down and towards turn number 4. Ismail on the back of Michele once again. Michele gives him the room, gives him the space, a bit too much space if you ask me. Ismail on the outside line, Thuni's into third, Michele there in fourth. That, I think, is for DRS advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we're getting to the crunch laps now, James, as everything is going to begin to be about being in the right position at the right time to get that DRS on the final lap.
Definitely so, and obviously it is very, very hard to get. Well, very easy to get DRS around a track like this. Of course, if you're within a second, and if you're in a tight-knit bunch, even difficult for me to say. There in third, all the way down to sixth. It is going to be quite close quarters racing going on to the final 3 laps of this race. Katkowski leads the way, job done. Racewaller in second, job done. Ismail Michele now beginning to knock 10 bails out of each other because Michele's back third and he's into third. Ismail there in fourth, Inro in fifth, and Simbarox there in sixth. No rain still falling out on track. Don't think there's any rain forecast, but at the end of this race, it is going to be very interesting as Ismail on the back of Michele looking for the move, not quite close enough.
Yeah, in the chat as well, people are saying there's an audio delayed. On my end, there's no delay in the audio, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna have to ask you to just quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you to just quickly have a little look on the stream, James.
Yeah, Inmore there into fourth, actually. Ismail made a mistake coming to the right-hand return number right even, and Inmore gets the move done. So Inmore Thuni's into fourth, Ismail there in fifth, now beginning to struggle. Simbarox there in sixth. If there is an audio delay, it's probably what I normally have on my Elgato. I just go into properties and press cancel, and then it's fine. So it might just be that. If there is an audio glitch, at least it's only for the final 2 laps of the race. Gatkowski leading the way, Racewaller in second, Michele there in third, but definitely seems like there might be a little bit of an audio glitch, so maybe Mike just go and try and fix your Elgato and then it'll be fine. As Iswall is on the back of Inwar on the run down and towards turn 4, looking for the move. There is a yellow flag out on track. Where is this? Right through this part of the track. Nobody yellow flag through there. Oh, and that's Racewaller made a mistake. Racewaller now all of a sudden a second to Michele in third.
Okay, lovely stuff. As we've got confirmation that it is fixed. Happy days, and we are on the penultimate lap. About to come on to the final lap of the race. James Gatkowski in a world of his own, 4.5 seconds ahead of Racewaller, and Racewaller is now under pressure from Michele and Imwa and Ismail.
He made a really bad mistake, I think, coming through turn number 6, which is why the yellow flags are out there for. Coming through turn number 4, must have had a half spin. And all of a sudden, Michele's there for the fight. FGE might throw away potential podium here at this stage. Michele there in third, Inwar there in fourth, Inwar looking on the back. Everyone, I think, is going to wait, maybe down towards turn number 4. Bit of a Constantino effect in behind. There's front wing damage as well. I think from Ismail further down the field. Certainly a bit of carbon fibre flying there in the background. Running down the hill and towards turn number 4. Nobody going to be close enough for the moves this time around. Is it Ismail that's got the damage, or was it Simbarox's other wing plate? It was Simbarox is on the wing plate. Right side end plate damage on the car, completely missing now. Bit of a T-tray on that car, actually, from Simbarox's perspective. But Gatkowski has looked in absolute dominant fashion here in Austria. May as well run out of fuel. Neil still win this race. Now coming to the right-hand return number 9. Through the right-hand return number 10. The pole is going to dominate out on top. CPI going to dominate out on top. Gatkowski on the run to the line. Takes an easy win in Austria. Racewaller on the line. Runs second. Just about holds on in the end. Inwar there in third, Ismail there in fourth, Michele with a 3-second penalty dropping down, all the way down to 6th, Simbarox there in 5th as well. Great race. In the end, Gatkowski was dominant. In the end, Racewaller nearly threw away potential podium for FGE, holds second. In the end, Inwar there in third. VMV's best result of the season so far.
Yeah, that's fantastic for VMV and Imwa. They're getting a podium here at Austria. And I'm not going to lie, James, I was quite surprised that Matt wasn't able to close back up the Turtle Master on those soft tyres. I thought he would have got him at the end.
Yeah, unless the sort of soft compound tyres just weren't online in the track temperature and obviously the overcast conditions out on track might have played a hand. Potentially, Matthias also might have not actually replaced some of his damage that he had. So, might have also been that perspective. But in the end, Gatkowski, dominant, out on top for CPI, and CPI now take the championship lead over FRT, going into the next race, which is going to be coming up very shortly indeed. We are going to be getting invites in very soon. Harvey has sent me one, so we'll hop for it very soon. Out on track, I'm going to skip the podium celebrations to bring you the full race result. There's Gatkowski out on top from Race Roller there in second. Inwell 11th, third with Ismail in fourth. Simbarox in fifth. McCulley, 3-second penalty, costly in the end, costing him a podium from third all the way down to sixth. Nam there in seventh. Forgot about him, and I don't think even we mentioned him at one stage in that race. They're down in seventh. Chowski there in eighth. Total Master in ninth. Matthias ran off the top 10. Kieran Nag, of course, left early in the session, so I don't think he'll get the points. DLX Stanley Gamer will, however, though, in 12th. He finished a lap down. Even Escrick there in 13th. Kevin's in 14th. Enzo in 15th. There's 29 there in 16th. We are going to go for an intermission break very shortly indeed, but Gatkowski, Mike, out on top. Any stopping CPI going into the second race?
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. And of course, we can have a little look at the driver lineup for the next race, James. Of course, we didn't have much time to look at the driver lineup for this race. But next race, I mean, the CPI driver, Leonardo, a very good driver, but we're going to have to wait and see.
Very good driver, but I am not favouring them. I've got to be honest. I think Leonardo was a bit of a weaker man compared to one driver in there that I will mention. I'm sure at the back of this intermission break. I'm going to hop for it now into lobby 2. I will send you an invite, Mike. While we do that, we'll go intermission break. We will see you in a few minutes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after a short intermission. Well, I mean, we got caught a little bit off guard there as the lobby already readying up and about to go into one short qualifying here in the second race of the evening. But
Ooh.
James, I mean, we mentioned it earlier. Obviously, CPI taking the lead now in the championship as outside the top 10. So I believe you might have just seen something, James.
This is interesting for qualifying.
Uh,
It's absolutely chucking down.
I mean, I'm still on the timer.
You're on the timer. It is absolutely chucking down out on track, and I'm not even kidding you. You will see it very shortly indeed on the stream. But
Oh,
there you go, chucking it down out on track.
well, I mean, in the first race, the clouds did look like they were going to produce a little bit of rain at the end of the race. I guess it just carried over into race 2.
It has carried over in the race, and it's going to be interesting. It now throws every prediction that I had potentially out completely out the window because I was going to go agonize for pole position for FRT, and in the end, he might not even scrape a top 5. To be honest, in these conditions, this is going to be a strange qualifying session.
Well, I'll tell you what, they wanna hope that conditions are dry in the race. As I'm on board with Indian as he's going to get us underway here on the one short qualifying lap. He comes through.
Yeah, driver's eye view. That was driver's eye view, quite literally there from Indian. Domad on top, Gavroche there in second, Pablo there in third. Agonize is already down in 10th and 11th right now, and CPI already down in 10th as well. There's now an update. Leonardo now out on top. Agonize is up there as well, along with Kyriakos dropping down the field. Gavroche, though, looking good for GT10 in the early stages of this qualifying session. Dom, of course, who was part of FGE's former lineup, of course, their title-winning lineup in Console Tier 2 this season. Indian, though, running down in towards turn number 4, looking pretty good, I've got to say, on this lap time. Now coming through the right-hander at turn number 5, then through the left-hander again at turn number 6. We will see what his middle sector is going to be like compared to the likes of Dom, the likes of Gavroche. Agonize is getting up there as well for FRT. Could be potentially the one to watch out for in the middle sector. Indian's also coming up the field as well, up into 60 goals. Agonize currently on top. Is my prediction actually going to be right? Coming in towards turns 9 and 10, on board with Indian, who runs very wide, and that's surely going to be an invalidation. How is that not an invalidation from Indian? Now coming to the final corner, on the run to the line, Mystic James returns again, 111.9 for Agonized. Fern there in second, don't care about the rest.
Yeah, Mystic James has made a return here for round number 3 at the Esports Masters League Challenge Cup. And Agonize, I mean, you did say let's go keep an eye on him, and he has got pole position by 0.2 of a second, James.
He's good on one lap pace, which is why I want to go for him. And then I saw the weather and I thought, no, he's not normally good in the west. So it's a surprise actually that Agonize is out on top. Look at where Leonardo is, all the way down in 6th position as well for CPI in the early stages. Agonize out on top, Fern there in 2nd for GT10, Gavroche there in 3rd, then it's the right Kai in 4th, Indian there in 5th, Leonardo 6th, Alex Linares in 7th, Lolpol there for XPG even in 8th, Vico there in 9th, and Dima ran off the top 10. Didn't get the rest because everyone wants to get on with things.
Yep, that they do, and I think outside the top 10, if I just quickly have a look back on the stream, you got Kyriakos in 11th, Alex in 12th, Sags on 13th, Pablo in 14th, and I'm just waiting for me to scroll down to the bottom. Eventually I'll get there. There we go. I went straight past it.
Terrible.
I think it was just one. There we go. Dom at the back in 15th place. So there we go. All 15 drivers there on the grid and getting ready. And it is clear skies. But you see that cloud again, James, up on the hills? It's exactly the same cloud that we had in the first race.
It is exactly the same weather we had in the first race. And the 5 red lights are about to go out right now here out on track for race number 2 here in Austria for round number 3 of Challenge Cup, and we are underway. And Agonize gets a very good start. Fern gets a good start as well. Gavroche gets a good start, but a bit of a shoddy start further down the field for Savek's down towards turn number 1, but Agonize leads the way. There's already a spinner, and that's the RB of Right Kai who was gone round. So Right Kai already round. Thurn on the back of Agonize though, running up the hill in towards turn number 3 for Remus for the first time. Williams on the inside of the RB gets the job done. Very neatly done indeed, actually, by Agonize. Job done for him. Everyone, by the way, is on a set of medium compound tires again as we cascade our way down towards turn 4.
Yeah, Leonardo with a good start. He's up in the P4 already. He tapped the rear of Gravro through turn number 3 and again through turn number 4. Indian holding position in P5. We got side-by-side action between Alex Linares and Lopop as we go through the middle sector, and Alex Linares able to hold on position. As Leonardo, brilliant.
Beautiful move. Audacious, opportunistic, everywhere underneath the sun, plus more, I think, for Leonardo there. Thurny's into third, Gavroche there in fourth, Indian there in fifth, Alex Linares there in sixth, and wide there, actually, Leonardo coming to the right-hand return number 9, now to the right-hand return number 10, lap 2 out of 25 beginning. Agonize leads the way, Fern there in second, Leonardo currently in third, Gavroche there in fourth, and Indian, Alex Linares, then Lolpol, Velko, and then Kyriakos and Dima ran off the top 10, Savix, Dom, Alex, Pablo, and then the right guy right down the back of the field, but he has got back within DRS train, and everyone's in a big old DRS train run up the hill for the first time with DRS now enabled.
Yes, we have a look at Savix. Big contact there with Daima there, and Daima around, dropping all the way to the back of the field. Not ideal there. McLaren going straight into the back of the Haas through turn 3, side-by-side action between Alex Linares and Lopol, as well as they're still side-by-side on the exit of turn 5 in towards turn number 6. Alex Linares down the inside,
nice.
Job done.
And India makes a big mistake in front as well, and is now cast out to the lambs because Alex Linares is right on the back of him. Indian there, though, in 5th position, had a big mistake coming through turn number 6 there, ran wide coming through the mid part of the corner. Alex Linares on the back of him, Lolport on the back of him along with Vaco as well, but Agonize leads the way. Fern there in second, Leonardo there in third, 4/10 of a second covering the top 3 at this stage, and there is another yellow flag, and that, I think, is for the McLaren coming into the pit lane. Alex Linares breezes past Indian down in towards turn 1. Indian at this moment in time has actually got damage on the right side end plate, so that's why he's struggling.
Yeah, and you're seeing that gap 1.7. Oh, bit of banging as they climb up the hill in towards turn 3 between Alex Linares and Indian there.
More damage. Vico's got damage. Sorry to cut you off, Mike. I think it's right side end plate on the car. Alex Linares going for the move on Indian. Fern's just gone for the move on the right sleeve, but Agonized as well. There's a lot going on in this race, but Vico has definitely got damage for QSL.
Yeah, as he's beginning to struggle now, especially as we come into this middle sector. Kyriakos gets through up in the P8, and he's on a bit of a charge now. He's making his way up the order quite well, is Kyriakos.
He is indeed. He was meant to race, of course, in Lobby 1, now part of Lobby 2, of course, and he's looking to try and get on the back of Lolpol, on the back of Indian. Lolpol, of course, remember from last week, had a very good fight in Silverstone last week, so definitely be looking for more fights. Breezes past Indian down in towards turn 1, so that's a fight that he's already won. Up the hill and towards turn number 1, and he's job done. Soon he's into 6th position. Bernal leading the way. Agonized second. Gavroche on the back of Leonardo. GT10 against EVE. We've seen this before. Sorry, against CPI. Looks the inside line. Leonardo too late on the brakes. Never going to get that stopped.
Big mistake there from Leonardo as Agonize and Gravro side by side now heading down in towards turn number 4. Agonize right the inside line, and he's going to be ahead before the break-in, so Agonize back through up in the P2, Gravro's back in the P3, but yeah, a big mistake from Leonardo, and potential wing damage as well.
Yeah, potential wing damage on the car. Obviously, that is going to affect them in the later stages of this Grand Prix. Well, believe it or not, only on lap 5 in this race. It's Bern, Agonized, Gavroche ran off the top 3. Nearly a second gap, actually, between himself and Leonardo. So Leonardo, at this moment in time, is the back against the wall, quite literally. Runs wide again. That might be a warning picking up there through turn number 9. But he's outside of DRS range, and that is trouble now because he's got Alex Linares who's looked quick for Peck in behind as well. And that could create a bit of a Constantino effect in this group. And that could mean Leonardo drops behind Alex Linares, running up towards the hill and towards turn number 3. But there is going to be 3 wide for the lead.
Yep, 3 wide for the lead as Alex Linares is closing in on Leonardo and gets the move done down the inside. Goes Leonardo trying to cover Alex Linares, but Gravroche and Fern still side by side. We run down into turn number 4, and it looks like Gravroche is just going to bail out, break a little bit earlier, and not try to fight it too much. And I think Gravroach might have made the smart call there, because he definitely, if he tried to fight there, might have gone into the back of Agonized.
Yeah, definitely made the right call indeed. Alex Linares on the back of Leonardo, who obviously went too deep into the apex there at turn number 3 even, at the top of the hill. But again, it creates Leonardo outside of a second. The CPR man has got to think about potentially getting back into this race, getting the move done. Alex Linares is on the back of him for Peck, looking to try and get the move done. There's a wide moment for Fern, losing out to Gavroche coming through the final corner. Big wide moment there for the TF10 man. Now brings Leonardo directly back into play in DRS range, and that is good news for the pack behind.
Yeah, fantastic news as Leonardo, though, he's had to use a lot of VRS as we see another change for the race lead as Agonize gets overtaken by Gravroach in towards turn number 3. Maybe a little switch back here from Agonize. Not going to be able to get it done as Alex Linares and Leonardo, they're ghosting on the exit of turn 3.
Yep, contact between them both, and now they're once again fighting aggressively down and towards turn number 4. Helicopter cam actually on my end, looking to maybe try and get this move done towards the inside line. It doesn't in the end. Lowpole there in 6th, Indian there in 7th, looking to try and get the move done, obviously with that stricken front wing damage on the car. Leonardo, though, got spun around by Alex Linares attempting that move, and now all of a sudden the gap is back out to 1.5 seconds. So this is bad news if you Peck, bad news if you're CPI. Good news, though, I was about to say, if you Agonize, but he's just lost the position to Fern.
Yep, Fern overtaking Agonize there, but Agonize close enough to the back of him that he may have a little peek in towards turn number 1, but definitely have a peek up in towards turn number 3.
Definitely so, and be looking to try and get this move once again at the FRT man. Oh, moment there by Fern. Big snap of oversteer there from the car now. Creates Organize an opportunity to get closer. I don't think he's going to go for the move. I say that now. Inside line through turn number 3. Tries to get the move done, and that's very clean in the end from Agonize and Fern. Very neatly done by 2 of Xbox's greatness. Agonize still needs into 2nd, Fern there in 3rd.
As Lowpole and Leonardo side by side as they were heading down in towards turn 4. Lowpole gets that move done. Up in the P5 now goes Lowpole, but on the exit you can see Leonardo tries to get the better traction, but I think just a late bit of wheel spin cost him there, and a nice bit of traction from Lowpole.
Yeah, nice bit of traction from Lowpole indeed. Looking obviously on the back of Alex Linares now all of a sudden. Gap still at 1.4 seconds. We saw how difficult it was to close down the gap to Gatkowski, who led the way for the most part really in that race in race 1. Now creates Lowpole an opportunity to try and get the move done. Alex Linares in 4th, Lowpole there in 5th, Leonardo there in 6th. 1.4 seconds still, though, separating the front 3 to 4th position. Gavroche leading the way, Agonize 2nd, Fern there in 3rd. Put your bets on, because I don't know at this moment in time who's going to win this race. I'd expect no pit stops to happen very soon, and I'd also expect Leonardo to get the move done on Lowpole. Job done for him. Kyriakos on Indian as well and behind, looking to get the move done. Does he get the move done for the ERS Esports team? No, he doesn't. Indian around the outside has very good traction and keeps the move. Yeah,
and look at Dom now all over the back of Kyriakos as we're seeing overtakes happen left, right and centre here now, James. Big lunge down the inside from Dom on Kyriakos, and he's got the car stopped. He's got the position. Fantastic there from Dom, as I believe Leonardo got through on Alex Linares, and then of course Agonize getting through on the Gravroach for the race lead.
Yeah, Fern on the back of Gavroche as well. My voice, by the way, as you can probably tell, is going, which is why I'm now struggling to try and commentate through. Agonize, though, was into the pit lane. Agonize is into the pit lane from the race lead, within the pit entry limit as well. Now coming into the pit lane. Leonardo also responds in along with Indian. Indian's got damage, obviously will be cost effect in the race. Have they been told, A, there's going to be rain towards the end and that's why we're putting on the set of hards now, or B, is it early to try and preserve track position, and did they watch what Gatkowski did in race 1?
And Fern's had a big moment. Fern dropping down several positions. I just got on board with him, and he's just he's gone very slow, and he's jumping back and forth. I think he might have potentially disconnected as Fern.
I will double check if he has. At this moment in time, no, he's just lagging at the moment. Now on the outside of turn number 4. Definitely looks like he's disconnecting though. I can definitely say that from our perspective. Dom there in 5th. Might need an invite, but problem is he's on Xbox. I'm on PlayStation. I can't really invite him. Gets caught in the inside curb. He's definitely having issues with his internet right now.
Yeah, Fern definitely having some internet issues, and that is for certain. Hopefully it starts to come back to him pretty soon. But he is going to stick out again for another lap as we see Lowpole, Alex Linares, and of course Dom, everyone into the pit lane. and Fern continuing on for another lap. So he's sticking it out there.
He is sticking it out there. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see now what happens and what transpires in this race. Obviously, Agoni's now coming out the pit lane. Agoni's already out on track. He's coming past the pit lane on the right-hand side, gets Gavros down towards turn 1. Just how far is that advantage going to be? If it's only going to make 2.6 seconds, does Gavros, I think, hit the pit wall, did he? Coming out the pit lane there. Leonardo's right on the back of him. Leonardo's gained over Lowpole, gained over Indian. Really big gain from him. Agoni's at 2.1 seconds doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence that that gap is going to remain as it is.
Yeah, I mean, Agoni's pulled out a 2.5 second gap over Gavros, which is good for him. But Gavros and Leonardo, you can see already the DRS and that, they're going to start to work together to close that gap back up. Maybe they watched the first race and they realised what should have happened with Ismail and I believe Roller Racer needing to work together to close up to Gakowski. Maybe we're going to see Gavros and Leonardo work together here.
Yeah, they've got to work together to try and really impact on this race. But I think is sticking out there maybe to try and preserve the tyres towards the end of the race. Or he's just trying to preserve his internet right now and just stay out on track, and if worse comes to worse, he can leave the session and then hopefully rejoin back again. Lowpole on the back of Indian's looking quite close. Turn number 1. Indian still has not replaced the front wing damage on that car, and there's also front wing damage now for Alex Linares on the right-hand side, because there's a bit of carbon fibre just flew off. There's also damage, I think, for Dom is there as well. Right side end plate damage on that car. Plenty of right side end plate damages on the car, and it's getting dicey.
Yep, the mid-pack, James, is all starting to kick off. A lot of front wing damage on these cars, and everyone really jockeying for position here as we run down to turn 4. Dom on the inside of Indian. Job done for Don as Alex and Last just holding on to P8. Kariakas and Pablo side by side with each other as they come into the middle sector now. Pablo on the inside, backs out of it, smart.
Backs out of it, and Fern all of a sudden is going to be landing him in a real heap of trouble because he's going to be right in amongst this battle when he decides to come out the pit lane. Lowpole hasn't got damage. It's a bit like play the game. Who's got right side end plate damage in this pack? And if you whack a mole, you will probably get a right side end plate damage on the car. So if you whack Lowpole, chances are you'll get right side end plate damage in this battle. But Agonize leads the way. Gavroche in second, Leonardo in third. Both of them have got penalties. Burners coming out the pit lane, as I say, right in the mix, right in the middle of all of this scrimmaging that is going on. Bad news for the TF10 man, obviously with his internet connection as well, as Savix has left the session as well. Hopefully we can try and get him back in on that 12 out of 25. Indian on the back, Kiriakos on the back of Pablo as well, trying to fight through the inside of turn number 3. Now down the hill and towards turn number 4, Pablo, think just going to head for TGF. Ahead of the EOS man, and he does get the job done. So Pablo Clooney's in tonight.
Down the inside of Kariakos here. Big entry from the VR1 man.
Yep, the VR1 man, and I think he's part of FRC, if I'm not mistaken, for his esports team. They're in the house. Clooney's into 10th, ahead of Kiriakos. Kiriakos now, the Greek man, hopefully going to be entering maybe his phase of smashing a few plates out on track and causing a bit of carnage. They're in 11th position, the Greek man. Alex then 12th, Vico in 13th, then Raikkonen, and then Savic dropping down into 15th. Obviously, has not got control of his car once again. Agonised though, 1.5 seconds the gap. Brilliant news if you're agonised right now, because it is agony for those in behind. Both the guys chasing them down. Leonardo and Gavroche got 3-second penalties.
Yeah, and it does seem like they are working together to try and close that gap up, but yeah, with the 3-second time penalties, not ideal for the pit run, as the right guy is coming to the pits and retired from the race. So his session's over and done with. Here goes Gavroche now straight past Leonardo, back up in the P2 he goes. And yeah, I mean, they're working together, James, but 3-second time penalties, we saw how costly it was earlier. It's going to be costly for these two again.
Yeah, definitely so. It's obviously going to be very interesting. That yellow flag obviously is for that retirement into the pit lane of the Red Bull man of Kyle. So Kyle there out of the race. Very unfortunate from his perspective. Agonisingly in the way. Gavroche there in second. Leonardo there in third. Take over, Mike. I'm just going to get a drink.
Yeah, absolutely. As Lowpole here just holding on to P4 ahead of Dom. Front wing damage here for Alexander in 6th. And then, of course, we got Fern in 7th place, trying to make his way through. He's half a second off the back of Alexander Russell as Dom, having a little peek down the inside in towards turn number 1, decides to not go for it as we're on lap 14 of 25. is Agonize leading the way. 1.1 is the gap. So Gravroach and Leonardo working together as a unit to try and close up. But not only do they have to get through, they have to get through with the 3 seconds as well as Dom down the inside does miss his breaking point and carries Lowpole with him. And both of them losing out a huge amount of time and position here, James.
Perfect for Fern. He's into 4th, and now he's ahead of this group. He's got fresher tyres on the car. Can he begin to pull away from these guys as Dom, Lowpole again fighting side by side, coming into the right hand of turn number 4, now through the kink of 5, into the left hand now of turn number 6 of Pirelli, then through the vert curve in towards 7 and 8. Lowpole on the back now of Alex Linares. Alex has looked pretty good in this race as well. Lowpole in this race has looked pretty good, still maintaining that known front wing damage that he's got. Agonize is 1.1 seconds clear. Gavroche now beginning to drop Leonardo. Great news if you're Gavroche. He's got 3% ERS though. Leonardo's on 10, Agonize is on 6. So this is now playing into the hands of the guys in behind rather than the guy in front. Agonize is there to be shot at, and at this moment in time, he's got to save his ERS. If he doesn't, then he's in trouble.
Well, I mean, there's an interesting stat that's just been put into the chat, James. As it currently stands, race wins goes CPI, FRT, CPI, FRT, CPI, FRT if it stays the way it is at the moment.
Yeah, that's if it stays the way it is. Gavroche and Leonardo are closing in pretty quickly. 0.5 of a second the gap, and now Agonize all of a sudden beginning to have his tail between his legs because Gavroche and Leonardo are right on the back of him. Leonardo's still got a 16% difference in terms of ERS to try and gain on the back of the GT10 man, on the back of the FRT man, running now up the hill once again in towards turn number 9 and 10. Lowpole again on the back of Dom, looking pretty quick. He's trying to find the move somehow out of all of that. Pablo on the back of these guys as well, but Agonize leads the way. Gavroche in second, Leonardo in third, like 16 out of 25. What goes first? This pack for the front 3 or my voice?
When your voice is beginning to struggle, James, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to have to bet on your voice on this one. But Agonize still able to hold on to the race lead. Gravroach, I think what Gravroach is doing is quite smart. He's trying to save up that battery because he knows once he gets through, he's going to have to use his ERS to try and build a gap. He's definitely got some great plates around here, does the GT10 man, and he needs to capitalise on it to try and build that 3 second if possible.
Leonardo into the back of Gavroche. Sorry to cut you off there, mate. Was that left side end plate damage on the car as well? I'm not sure if that was a bit of carbon fibre or a bit of tyre rubbing on the car. It's left side end damage.
Yep, left side end plate damage for Leonardo. Not ideal for CPI here. Leonardo is going to begin to struggle in the middle sector, especially as he will begin to fall away. He's going to hope, though, that he does stay within DRS. And Gravroach again getting close to the back, Agonize, but not close enough to make a move as we run down in towards turn number 1. Lap 17 of 25. Agonize still leading the way. Gravroach in second, Leonardo in third. Fern, 5.5 seconds off the back. He is closing in, but surely is Fern on for a podium here by any chance?
Judging by the penalties, probably not at this stage, but if he can drag himself into a window where there's 3 seconds and these guys really fight, which they're doing now because Gavroche is right on the back of Agonize, down towards turn number 4. GT10 man overtaking the FRT man into the race lead. He goes. 3 second penalty removals normally don't happen, so I'll just throw it out there for GT10 and from a CPI perspective as well. But Gavroche there leading the way, Agonize in second, Leonardo there in third. Gavroche now holding the lead of the race, but he's got 98% of ERS. Agonize is on 98, Leonardo's on 95, so they're pretty much even Stevens in terms of ERS right now.
Yep, even Stevens in terms of the ERS. The few things that are separating them: 1, Agonize does not have a penalty to his name. 2, Leonardo has wing damage, which he will be struggling with at some point, but he's doing a very good job of keeping with the top 2 right now, even with that wing damage.
Yeah, definitely so, as I try and clear my throat for the next bit of this Form 3. Agonize on the back of Gavroche, gets the race lead once again in towards turn number 3. Leonardo right on the back of these guys as well. Take over, Mike. I'm going to clear my throat again. Yep,
the battle for P4. The gap has come down by 0.6 of a second. Fern is closing in on Leonardo and Gravroach and Agonize here. So Fern potentially, he's 1.8 off the back of a podium finish here. So Fern definitely is not out of the running for a podium finish. He's got Dom in behind him, that's a 3-second time penalty. Alex Linaras with a bit of wing damage in 6th place. He's got Lopol there in 7th, who I believe also has a bit of wing damage on him. I'm not entirely convinced. I'm not getting the camera angles I need from the game right now to really check that. Pablo there in 8th and Dema in 9th. As you managed to get the camera angle?
Yeah, Lolpol's absolutely fine in terms of damage on the car. At least no visual damage on the car. No right side end plate, no left side or right side end plate damage missing or anything like that. So he's fine. Gavosh, though, on the back of Agonize is looking pretty racy, and all of a sudden the GT man takes off in towards turn number 3, gets the job done ahead of Agonize. Does he get to the apex first, however, though? Just about. Agonize gets a really good run coming out the corner, though. Might try and find him back down the hill in towards turn number 4. Is it going to be agony for Agonize and FRT, or is it going to be a wondrous strategy there for the man in the Williams? He leads the way going on towards lap 20. We've got 6 laps to go, not including this one. 6 laps to go at the next time around. Agonize leads Gavosh in 2nd, Leonardo there in 3rd. That gap, though, 5.6 seconds that gap was between Fern and Leonardo, now 4.1.
Yeah, as my controller has disconnected, which is not good. This is my bad controller, ladies and gentlemen. The battery does seem to go very quickly on it, and there we go, it's gone again. I will try to switch over to a different controller ASAP. Bear with me.
Agonize leads the way, though. Gavrosh in 2nd, Leonardo in 3rd. Well, Mike gets his I can't even speak. Well, Mike gets his controller. Will go through with the action currently out on track. Agonize leading the way. Gavrosh in 2nd, Leonardo there in 3rd. Gavrosh again looking on the back of Agonize, looking for the move, pulls the outside line, running up the hill and towards turn number 3. Job done for him. Is Leonardo going to find his way through as well and behind? No, Gavrosh again very late on the brakes through turn number 3. Now gets a really bad traction running out of turn number 4. Agonize once again is on the back of him. Don't think he's going to go for the move this time around. Leonardo just sitting in behind as well for CPI. Fern there in 4th, all of a sudden now the gap 4.4 seconds. Gap going back out now between Leonardo and Fern. Dom, Alex, Linares, Lolpol, Pablo, Dima, and then Alex top 10, Vico, Kyriakos, Indian, and Savek there, the 14 drivers continuing on out on track. Mike, hopefully you've got your controller by now.
Yeah, I have the controller is all sorted. We are back. Apologies for everyone watching there. It's a back controller. Don't worry.
Oh, Gavosh! Big mistake by Gavosh. Sorry to cut you off. He was right above them there. Coming through the right-hand return number 9. Big snap of oversteer. Lost all of that advantage that he built up. About 5 tenths of a second he had. Now all of a sudden it's down to 2 tenths. Gavosh is living life in the danger zone right now.
Well, I tell you what, James Arcanice is about to make him feel the pain for that mistake as he overtakes him up into the race lead. Goes Arcanice, and that gap between Fern and Leonardo down to 3.5 seconds. And Fern is of course bringing that train along with him of Dom, Alex Inaras and Lopol. So potentially Leonardo and Gravroach, if they continue to battle Arcanice with the way that they're doing, in the fashion that is going, not only could they lose a potential podium, they could finish as low down as like 5th or 6th.
They could finish low down as 5th and 6th. What's going to help them though is Dom, Pablo and Dima have all got 3-second penalties at this moment out on track, and in fact actually I'll go through them. Gavosh on 3, Leonardo on 3, Dom on 3, Pablo on 3, Dima 3, Indian 3, and then Savek's down at the back of the field, not within the lobby. He's in 6 seconds worth of penalties. Gap between Leonardo and Fern, 3.1 seconds. Scrap that 3-second penalty for Dom. That wing waggle from that car and that waggle on the wheel, definitely not to his liking. Picks up another 3-second penalty, and that's now 6 seconds for Dom. Perfect for the leaders.
Yep, perfect for the leaders as Grafos goes wide through turn 1, opens the door for Agonize to get back through, and Agonize back into the race lead. Fern though, 3.3 off the back, 3 tenths is all he needs to try and get within the 3-second of Leonardo here. And I'm just not sure. Obviously the fresher tyres for Fern are going to help him out in the latter stages of this race, James. But the thing that's helping him out more is the fact that these 3 are constantly going at it for the race win.
They are constantly going at it for the race win. Brings Fern into play, but again, through this middle sector, this is where we really begin to gain the time back. Coming through the middle sector, coming out through the right-hand turn number 8, in towards the double right at turn number 9 and 10. This is where Fern is his strongest. This is where he is good out on track. The rest of the parts, the first sector in particular, not as strong. Now within that 3-second gap, that gap is only going to consistently come down in my eyes. So Fern at this moment in time, as long as he's got that cornering speed, he should be able to carry good effect. But it's cornering speed that he's got as Gavroche goes for the race lead again on the back of Agonize. Leonardo's just sitting back waiting, hoping above hope that something happens in front of him. Fern there in fourth, dropping down the straight in terms of the speed, obviously with the closing speed in behind as well. It's through the corners and that middle sector where he's really strong.
Yeah, and the middle sector is really carrying him at the moment. Of course, the run up the hill towards turn 3, the run down into turn 4, and of course the start finish straight is where he's losing the time, and that is just purely down to not having DRS as compared to the 3 up ahead of him. And you can see in his middle sector, he is closing in again. You see it coming down 3.1, 3 flat.
Half a second.
Yeah, he's got the pace in the middle sector, but is it going to be enough for him to jump up onto a podium spot?
It's like he's prioritised the setup, or if he's running maybe like a default setup or something along the lines of that, because he's so good in the middle sector. I'm not sure what TF10 have fed him in terms of potential setup, but he looks so good down the straight, so good in terms of wings. But in terms of straights, he looks absolutely shocking. Agonize on the back of Gavroche goes for the race lead once again into the right-hander now, turn number 3, and he gets the job done running up the hill. Perfect for Gavroche and Leonardo. Leonardo's just going to play his cards right, maybe go on to the final lap of the race. In behind, it is going to be an interesting one though with Fern in behind. Again, 3.2 seconds, gap beginning to close down slightly down the straights this time around. Means Fern can get a little bit closer, but again, he just forfeits the speed down the straight, and he really needs to come back down the straight because, as I like to say around this track, there are more straights around here than there are corners. This middle sector, though, is determining a factor for Fern. As long as he stays within 3 seconds, like he's doing now, 2.9 seconds all of a sudden, should come down to 2.8, maybe even 2.7, which it has done. Fern is now within that 3-second range on Leonardo, but he's not within 3-second range on Gavroche, so he needs more.
Yeah, he needs more, but you're going to see that gap begin to open up now as we come onto the start finish straight. It's 2.6 right now. It's going to go to around 2.7, maybe 2.8 by the time we get to the braking for turn 1. And then it's going to increase to maybe 3.3 up the hill in towards turn 3.
Gavroche for the race lead, outside line, getting the job done and Agonize. Leonardo's got no response with that damage. Agonize is very late on the brakes, nearly makes contact with him. There goes the McLaren out the way on the left-hand side of the track. That's Savex even, who's joined right down at the back of the field, but Agonize is getting the move right down on the back in towards turn number 4, gets the job done surely on the brakes in towards turn number 4. It's logical, it's the job done for him. Gavroche tries to get the switch back, but Fern and Dom all of a sudden beginning to fight for P4. Dom lunges an absolute big one on the back of Fern. Fern falls off track all the way down to 6. All of a sudden his podium is gone. His podium is completely gone for TF10. Agonize, though, was looking very strong. Now coming to the right-hander once again of turn number 8. Now in toward the double right of turns 9 and 10. It is job done, truly, for the FRT man with penalties in play. Gavroche and Leonardo will not get close. Agonize through the final corner. It's not agony for Agonize. Agonize takes the race win. Gavroche there in second. Leonardo in third. They'll hold the positions out on track as well with the penalties, or the lack of penalties, in behind. Alex Ramirez in fourth, Fern there in fifth, disappointing in the end. What could have been potentially for him. Lolpol there in sixth, and Dom and Pablo coming across the line for seventh and eighth. But Agonize takes the race win. I did say he'd be quite strong around this track, but he has just done the double of pole position and the race win. Did he also get fastest lap as well? I'm curious. No, that went to Leonardo.
Well, I mean, there we go. Agonize taking victory here in race 2. And I think Fern is going to be absolutely livid on that final lap with Dom sending one on his inside, because that potentially did cost him the opportunity of getting ahead of Leonardo for the final spot in the podium, and he ends up losing the spot to Alex Linaras as well.
Oh, he does. You caught me in a yawn there. Alex Linaras definitely is going to be it's definitely going to be finding the words, I think, for what could have been for him, because he was in a good chance of a podium finish. And then he went down by the back of the field as well. TF10 Fern, by the way, is just coming through on my screen. I'm not sure if you can hear what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. He's saying something, but I'm not sure what he is saying. I think he's just realised now we're going back to the screens. But great racing out on track. Agonize takes the race win. And in the end, absolutely deservedly so. And Agonize, the Romanian, he's a great driver in WR Legacy Division, great driver in WR Console Tier 1, and now he proves that here in EML.
Yeah, so we'll run you through the order here for race number 2. It is Agonize who took a victory ahead of Gravroach in second place, Leonardo in third with the fastest lap, Alex Inarase in fourth with TF10 third in fifth, what could have been for him. Lopol in sixth place with Dom in seventh, Pablo in eighth, Daima in ninth, and of course DLX Alex rounding out the top 10. And we got Kariakos in 11th with Indian in 12th place, and I believe everyone else, Velcro in 13th and Savs in 14th, but I'm not sure if he was in his car or not, but he was a lap down. And the right Kai, the only DNF to my knowledge in this race, and he takes our final spot in 15th, James.
Vico, I think, by the way, will be 11th in that race. I've seen him leave the session, so he probably will get his position reinstated. They need to provide a report, though, to do that, and if they do, of course, that position will get reinstated. It is a well-known glitch, of course, within the lobbies, but a really interesting race, I think, that as the whole. It was a fascinating race throughout. Hopefully, we get more of the same going into next week. Where are we next week? Let's have a look. I've totally forgot myself where we are next week, to be fair. We will get there though very soon. Where is the calendar? It would help if I could find the calendar on the server. There we go. We're in Singapore next week. Round number 4 of the championship. It's Singapore. Races 1 and 2 coming from there. 11th of December. Then it's Brazil on the 18th of December to round off the season before we go for the Christmas break. Mike, Singapore next week. Absolutely brilliant in terms of the racing normally. I've loved commentating on this game around here in Singapore. What can we expect from the action out on track?
I mean, one of the few things that we can expect at Singapore is, honestly, in my opinion, a lot of good action. I mean, in EML in previous seasons gone by, we've been treated to some fantastic races at Singapore. And there is an old saying, James, I have yet to commentate over a bad Singapore.
Ah, well, you never know. There's always a first time for everything, isn't there?
Sometimes, but sometimes maybe not.
Sometimes maybe not. It's going to be an interesting one, though. Obviously, Singapore is going to be next week. Brazil the week after, of course. And then we go for EML season number 8, which the calendar has not been released. But we showed it last week on stream, of course. And it was Bahrain, round 1 of the championship on January 22nd. Give you more information, actually, about EML. Qualifiers happening 8th of January. Sign-ups are currently open. I can tell you currently is signed up at this moment in time from Esports Masters League for season number 8. XPG are in there, EVE, OVR, VMB, NLR are signed up. Jav put in the sign up there for NLR. FRC Esports as well, along with ERS, QSL, F1AF, who are brand new, I think, to EML going forward, at CPI, and then IRT also signing up as well. So if you do recognize any of their team names and you want to get your team involved, you can do. Join the Discord server. Links in the description of this very video. You can join for qualifiers on the 8th of January, and then season 8 begins the 22nd of January, which is going to be very, very quick. It's going to be a very quick turnaround, because just think, qualifiers in a month. That seems very, very close.
Yeah, and of course the longest season in EML history as well to look forward to. 12 rounds, of course, starting on the 22nd of January, concluding in Abu Dhabi on the 16th of April. A lot of racing to happen in that time, James, and the extra 2 races, making it the longest season in EML history, is gonna add so much more, I think, to the season.
Adds more points, adds more driving, adds more opportunities for teams out on track. I can't see a bad thing why we are not doing an extended calendar. We've seen so many team events do it, to be honest, as well. WR Legacy Division, for example, having 24 races this season. GTI, I think, having 15. CSS having 12. Really goes along the same lines of what they're trying to achieve, of course, the team events, and obviously with our team event here in EML as well. And yeah, I don't think I have much more to say, bar I need to lie down and I need to recover from my voice.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we wish you a speedy recovery so you can come back fully fresh next week. But yeah, I think that wraps things up here tonight in Austria. we'll be back next week for round number 4 as we head to Singapore. Until then, guys, I have been Michael Edwards. He has been James Head, and we'll catch you next week in Singapore for the Esports Masters League Challenge Cup. Until then, guys, it's goodbye from the pair of us.